How do you make an expensive gift that someone won't accept?
This is aggravating.
Bathrobe made out of cheese graters. It was, you know how many cheese graters I had to buy to make this? I had to bend them all. Can you please just put it on once? No, what I want for Christmas is to be walking down the hallway and somebody goes, oh, you know all those problems? I solved them for you. And do you want to do something cool? Be like, fuck, today's the greatest day I've ever had.
Instead of being like, I'm on my way to do something cool. Problems.
Yeah.
Son of my bitch.
You know how awful that is? I don't like having, both feet in. Just like, we're rolling cameras and you get that text where you're like, oh, like, be funny.
Hold it in.
Remember, you're hosting this one.
Yeah.
Be funny.
Speaking of hosting, what we've been doing lately is we already know how you take your coffee with all the milk and the flavors very like Russian roulette.
Consistently inconsistent.
Oh, perfect. JT, how do you take your coffee?
Like a truck stop whore. Whoever shows up. I mean, that's true, though. You could hand me just black and I'm fine with it. Like, it could just be, hey, I just made this, great. Or it could be fruity tooty riffing and booty. Like, hey, you got to try this. And I'm like, all right, cool.
Take a note. Fruity tooty riffing and booty.
Yeah.
Whatever that is.
This is cold brew and it has a little half and half in it, but we got this in the shop. We have this new syrup called chaga. It's the chaga mushroom.
Ooh.
And it's a syrup, which chaga is a mushroom that is naturally sweet without having sugar in it, which is
interesting.
Wild.
Yeah.
So I need to explore that.
It's like a sweetener, but there's no sugar. But it's not like bullshit like, a sweet and low stevia. It's like, it's natural.
All right,
so there's logic behind this, though. Let me explain to you. This is why I never started dipping when I was a young military member.
Smart.
Because, and this is what I was thinking, like why everybody was like, dude, you want to dip? I'm like, no. They're like, why? I'm like, because we're going to constantly be put in situations where I can't go get something that you're getting me addicted to. So that's why I refuse to like have a standard. Therefore, I'm happy with whatever I'm offered.
No standards. It's good.
Yeah, see?
Yeah.
Like that's the same thing with the coffee is. It's like if I got accustomed to 2 spoonfuls of milk or whatever the fuck people put in it, and it's like, this because you know how it is. Mostly officers that bitch every time you go, oh man, I wish I had some cream. And you're just like, oh my God. Like how many people I listen to going, oh, I fucking need a dip, man. I'm like, I don't.
I am that guy. However, I learned early on that I learned to love everything in, let's say, an MRE that everybody else hated.
Yeah, because you could always get it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
It's plentiful.
Like bread?
Yeah. Let me get
great.
that flatbread.
Shelf-stable bread's delicious.
I was able
that right now.
I was able to obtain pork rib from everybody. Nobody wanted pork rib, but I loved it. It was like a McRib.
When Ranger school story.
I like that.
Yeah.
When I was in Ranger school in mountains, it was like a winter class and it got so cold that they authorized us to get like extra calories.
Oh, the Arctic MREs?
No, it wasn't those. They just gave us
More
MRE.
More MREs.
They gave us our MRE and 2 pieces of shelf-stable bread, like on the side.
A bunch of calories.
And we were fucking stoked.
Yeah, it is. It's all irrelevant. Happiness is relevant.
I didn't realize how mean it was until I was the one kind of helping to facilitate this. But during Hell Week, when they give out MREs to the guys, there aren't any of the good things in there. Like there's no candy, there's no hot sauce, they strip it all down. And like while you're going through it, you don't realize it because you're just...
Hey guys, this is the alarm clock.
Hey,
that's a good ringer.
Real professional.
It says, hey, we got podcast time.
So we're in the middle of the podcast. But yeah, so they strip out all the good shit. While you're going through it, you don't realize it. But that was a moment where afterwards, I was helping to strip out some of those MREs and I'm sitting there going...
I've become the evil that I hated. But wait, how long's Hell Week? 6 days, 7 days?
5.5.
Okay, so the upside is you guys only have to eat MREs for 5 days.
We pulled it out. Found it.
I thought you go through the chow line really fast and then you throw everything away and then later they just let you eat out of the garbage.
Yeah. I saw that.
Did that ever happen?
No, it was it was a documentary.
Yeah, it was called G.I. Jane.
Yep.
Oh,
the
man.
documentary.
Yeah, the documentary.
Maybe we should watch that tonight.
Yeah.
Maybe that should be our
100%.
project this evening.
Let's play it on the garage.
Yeah.
I'm going to admit that I fucking love that movie.
It's entertaining.
Wildly entertaining. Yeah. It's captivating.
Well, before we get too deep, Trevor Thompson.
What?
Yeah.
How do you take your coffee?
Wow.
We got so far off topic that I didn't know what you were asking.
I ran it back in. I'll bring it back in.
Usually just black, but recently I've been having like chai tea lattes, which is
Oh, yeah.
fucking whatever. I like how they taste.
It is fucking whatever. Let's go try some of that chaga when we're done. I'm pretty excited.
Well, Fancy Pants has been making
it's
me
like cream
some
in there,
chocolate
too.
caramel horse
Ooh.
shit, but it's good. You know,
Delicious.
I mean, I go
They're
into
always
a
delicious.
full-blown, sugar epilepsy afterwards. But
it's not different.
again, like I said, anything you throw at me, I'll take down.
Fair enough.
Why are we all together? What are we doing?
Bullshitting.
No. Oh, we have tax
This is
tomorrow.
for entertainment, Jariko. This is for entertainment.
Yeah. Well, we were just doing rally car shits, and then we came here, and we were passing through, and you guys are doing tack shits.
I'm not doing tack.
I'm not.
And the reason is because tack involves hiking. I don't hike.
I'm okay with the hiking, but my
I
bows
enjoy it.
Yeah.
the bows in Washington. I didn't. Yeah.
You can always throw rocks.
Being an instructor in the military and throwing on a ruck every week and rucking the students has made me not think that this is like enjoyable. I'll put on a heavy backpack and go walk a lot. No.
I don't do well when there's not a destination that you're arriving at.
Yeah, because you can't, you're not motivated by that. We're halfway there. We're 3/4 of the way there.
The journey is the destination.
It took me about 4 years to enjoy going on hikes and like going out,
being
for
outside.
walks, being outside. I would just have that like you, I would just think about the destination
Mhm.
and I wouldn't enjoy shit. I would just hammer down until I got up there and get up to the top and be like, all right, now I need to get back down because that was the new goal. It was a means of transportation or, not a way of having fun.
Yeah, I'm horrible at it. My kids are like, dude, why are you walking so fast? It's a real problem to switch gears and go like, enjoy it. I just look at my feet and go as fast as I can. I'm like, fuck man, maybe I should look around a little bit, enjoy some shit.
No.
I'm figuring it out.
Don't get me wrong. I said, don't get me wrong. I'm a fan of being outside, but I'm a fan of being outside with a good quality seat.
Nice comfy chair.
Nice chair.
The thing that really helped me enjoy the outdoors was photography. Just stopping to taking pictures. And like, it actually, for a
Gives you
while, I
reason.
was like, this is making me so I'm not, but it really was making me present.
Gives you
Because
reason to slow down.
Slow down and like take things in.
I like that. I'm getting there.
And then after a while, then you can start to just take in the vista without taking a picture of it.
I dig it.
And that's where I am now.
But were you really there if you didn't take the picture?
100%.
Yeah, huh?
Yes, you were.
Yeah, no. Well, like the world doesn't think you were. So if you experience happiness from that, it's not real.
Okay, so
Yeah.
from the outside looking in, photography is something that I'm excited to get into, especially here, Black Rifle, there's tons of it. When did you start? Just taking pictures.
Taking
creatively.
pictures?
Yep. Not just dick
I
pics.
wouldn't even say I do still. Like when I sit next to like Trevor and say I'm into photography, it makes me embarrassed because I'm like, fuck, I'm not a photographer. But I have a camera and take pictures.
Yep.
So who cares? But I don't know. I bought my first like real camera like 2.5 years ago.
Okay, cool.
And I would say I'm really good at seeing what should be in the photo and how to like compose it and, all that. I'm terrible at editing. And I'm bad at taking a picture for the edit, which I know that like a lot of photographers are like, I'm going to just take this picture knowing that I'm going to have to edit it in this way. I don't have that kind of mind.
Yeah, like you're going to sit there and look at it and go, no, I want this a little bit blown out and I want the colors a little bit neutral because I'm going to be doing this with the edit on the back end. That is hard to like wrap your head around.
Yeah.
It takes years.
It
How
really
long-
does.
How long have you been doing it? Because your pictures are outstanding, dude.
I don't know. I'd say since like 06-ish.
Okay, so you've been doing it for a minute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it seems like to get good at stuff, you just have to do it a lot.
A lot.
For a long time.
It's weird.
I mean, the best advice Quentin Tarantino ever gave. Go out and shoot.
Yep.
you can't get better if you're not shooting.
Yeah.
Stop complaining that you don't have the right script, the right sound guy, or the right actors, or the right fucking anything. You shut up. Go fucking shoot.
Yeah.
It's good.
And I mean, look at this beautiful photograph we have here of Archibald Widwicki. I don't even know where you get this. Like, that is an old photo.
Yeah.
It was right before he found the Decepticons. What? You don't know who Archibald Widwicki is?
Of course I do.
Okay.
Of course I do. I just like how you tied it all together with modern culture. Of course there's a Decepticon in there.
Yes, Below the Ice. That's where they first discovered it.
They're waiting.
Yeah, 1930-ish.
Who was the Decepticon leader? What was
I can't remember. I wanted to say his name because that's who they found
Optimus
down
Prime
there.
versus-
It's
Start with a V.
no, it's like
Jamie, pull that up.
it's very negative. Yeah. It sounds scary. So you know that it's like, we're gonna get
He's purple.
We're gonna get hate
He's purple.
for
Right?
not
He is
knowing
purple.
this.
He's like-
Especially all being of age when
I know.
Transformers was a cartoon on.
Shit.
Do you know his name? No.
Nope.
No, that's
No.
Age of Ultron.
Voltron.
No, Age of Ultron was one of the Transformers movies,
Oh,
I believe.
That's it. I'm going to look it up.
Optimus
If only there was
Prime
a way to
and
find out.
it's right
to be
there.
fair, I was more of a definitely number one was G.I. Joe.
Starscream,
Yeah, I was a G.I. Joe fan.
Megatron.
Megatron.
Yeah,
There it
Megatron.
is.
Then
Didn't start with a V.
right behind G.I. Joe, I was a Thundercats guy.
Same. He-Man, Thundercats, fuck yeah.
See, I watched a lot of Garfield.
What about the Wish.com Garfield known as Heathcliff?
Oh yeah,
You know what
Heathcliff. I read Heathcliff fucking books.
He was like the shitty Garfield.
Budget.
Oh,
Budget
man.
Garfield.
Cal-
Garfield.
Calvin and Hobbes.
Calvin Hobbes is great.
That was something, man.
My
If those
great-
books were in the library, like if there was a cartoon book that wasn't checked out, like you lucked out. It was like you got to watch TV
Yeah.
during reading time when you were in
Yeah.
school.
Yeah.
Like, oh fuck, it's reading time. This
What about
sucks.
the library,
Also-
man?
Yeah.
Two different instances of my life. My grandfather called me Calvin for my entire life. Right?
Because he was senile?
No,
Calvin.
just because he was fucking with me. He's a dago. He's like,
Yeah.
hey, fucking Calvin, get over here and move the stuff. I'm like, all right, cool. Fast forward, I go to Iraq and they want to give like a call sign thing, and that's a longer story. It doesn't matter. They go, hey, how do you feel about Cobbs? I was like, or Hobbs rather. I go, fuck off, because there's a Calvin walking around somewhere. And sure enough, the last guy they named Calvin. I was like, no, we're not doing Calvin and Hobbs.
Hobbs is the tiger, right?
No.
No.
Oh yeah, yeah.
He's the kid.
Yeah,
Hobbs is
Hobbs is the tiger.
Tiger.
Okay.
Yeah.
Those are awesome comics, dude.
They're really
They were. There were hundreds of them.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Like
The guy-
I remember
the guy
we used
worked
to
for him
have
for decades.
fucking books upon books upon books. Like, I mean, I do. I remember the newspaper and digging through to get to the comics, and then the newspaper also had like a how to draw thing.
Yeah. And it'd be like,
right.
here's how to draw a fox.
A shark.
It's like step by step.
Do an oval first. Now put the mouth in. Like you're like, oh my god, I can draw.
My brother just sent me an article that was called "Just Finish the Fucking Owl."
Mhm.
And it was based on like all these influencers that are talking specifically about health and diet and fitness, and they're like, no, you just like you start here and then you end up like this with abs.
Yeah.
And the art, like that's why the article is "Just Finish the Fucking Owl" because it's two circles on top of each other, and then the next picture is "and you have an owl."
Just finish the fucking owl.
Finish the fucking
that's-
owl.
Step 1, make 2 circles. Step 2, finish the fucking owl. No, we have a guru problem right now.
We really do.
Like, and it's now it's grown even worse to where people are starting a trade or a skill just to be the guru, and you're like.
Yeah.
What about the 20 to 30 years of trial, error, tribulation, and experience?
Yep.
Oh no, you're 22 telling me all the answers? Like, get the fuck out of here.
I also
with
call
that.
this the YouTube effect. Like when my son gets on, he was like 8, right? And there's some kid that's 6 just ripping on a guitar. He practices for a week and he's like, well, fuck, I guess I can't do it. I'm like, no, you got to realize like he started when he was 4.
Back up, Turbo.
Yeah, relax, put in the hard work. But
Yeah, but
That's a thing with, there's too many fucking choices out there too, right?
Yeah.
Like, and I just recently started eating a little differently. Like, but I was like, I just got to pick something that I think a lot of people have done and just ride it out. And it's not going to be perfect. And so I'm just eating meat and fruit and some dairy. And like, I tell people that and they're like, yeah, but fruit has a lot of sugar and this. And I'm like,
That's me.
I know. I don't fucking care.
That's him.
Yeah, fuck off.
Like there's a million. I just got to pick a hole and fuck it here with the way I eat.
Just got to pick it and fuck it.
But it's super important that this is the like 30 seconds gratification of Instagram and everything else that's created, or my kid on YouTube thinking he's going to be a goddamn idiot savant in 30 seconds. Nobody does anything for any period of time.
Yeah.
You know, they do it for 5 days and like, it didn't work. It's like, bitch, you got to do it for like 30 days minimum just to see whatever benefits are going to come from it.
Yeah.
You know, pick something, stick to it. If it doesn't fucking work, move on, pick something else.
Well, and then the easy, I think it's a few things. The easy accessibility it is to the information now, where it's like, before it's like, if you wanted to learn to be a filmmaker, I'm going to use this because this is my prime example in this. I took a course from a guy local here, Parker Walbeck, when he first started it out like 4 years ago. I've been following him and Devin Supertramp and stuff on YouTube for fucking 12, 14 years. Like, and he pushed out and started, you know, an online e-course called Full-Time Filmmaker. And I took the beta thing to, you know, not that I necessarily needed it, but I wanted to see what was in there. Like, okay. And there was a couple editing tricks and things like that I never thought of that I was like, yeah, I fucking learned something. And it was fun. But part of being in that course, you get added to a group, like a Facebook group. You know, if you're a paying member of the course, you have all the people that pay to take that course. And the most disappointing and saddening thing that I see is there are over 15,000, I believe, members in there.
Oh.
And a lion's share of them are young kids that are taking the course, getting into filmmaking just to make a course teaching other people how to get into filmmaking. And I'm like, oh my God, there's not a shred of practical application, not a shred of creativity. They're not going, wow, I just learned how to capture this on video, edit it, and make it cool. Now I'm going to go come up with my own ideas and put it out. No, I'm going to stand in front of a camera. I'm going to do the pink light trick behind me and do 3-point lighting here in front of me. And I'm going to tell you how to make a film. And it's like, yeah, skipped a bunch of steps there, kid. And it's fucking infuriating.
Yeah,
but it
it's
is. It's this easy accessibility to information that they think, oh, this is all it takes.
Yeah. Well, also, that's all. If you've looked behind the curtain in academia, it's very largely the same. Like you go to most college campuses.
All your
like,
instructors?
I remember being in, when I was going to school in New York and like sitting in a class and I'm like listening to this professor talk. I'm like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. And you like, I would go and Google the professor and find out what their professional background is. And I'm like, how in the fuck are you teaching a college course in this?
He's a forever
You've never
student.
been successful in this career field.
They're an academic.
On your own.
That's all they do.
Well, here's a conundrum. Why would anybody teach marketing? If you knew marketing, you'd be fucking rich and not want to waste your fucking time teaching anybody anything.
Yeah, I would say
True.
I did have a few positive experiences with professors there, but they were all about to die. They were all super fucking old and they'd gotten to the end of the line and they were like, you know what? I want to pass on a few of these lessons. I like teaching.
I was just about to say this. Like a lot of the civilian courses that you end up going to for name the thing, right? If the guy is like old and washed up, that's probably a good thing. Because that means they probably had to apply all the skills that they are now teaching somewhere for decades. And now they're like, you know, I can't do race car driving or shooting or skiing anymore, but I sure as shit can teach all the techniques really well.
It's experience-based.
Yeah, you're teaching all the failures is what it is.
100%.
Well, I tried that one once.
Yeah.
Let me show you how not to blow your knees out.
Yeah. The coolest professor I had, I thought I was going to fucking hate his guts because I took history of the Vietnam War. It was like a 4-semester, like you could take it 4 times. So like almost, so I took all of them. But when I first showed up, again, I Googled the professor and he was not a Vietnam veteran.
Like,
he was a Vietnam War protester.
Oh.
And I was like, oh, I'm going to hate this motherfucker. But he was actually so fucking
Then
thoughtful.
you went through the Iraq War and you went,
No.
they were onto something.
Exactly.
Wait a second.
There were a shitload of parallels. When you actually learn about the Vietnam War and how it started, you're like, I can kind of see why he was protesting.
Ooh, okay.
But like 10-year-old Jariko with his Vietnam vet dad still wanted to go up and like kick the dude in the balls.
Angry.
Well, I would say a downfall though, and this is in any subject, like you said, name the thing.
Yeah.
8 out of 10 people shouldn't be teaching. Because I identify the fucking horrible teaching techniques right away. Constantly distracted, constantly fucking going off on tangents, back to the class, like not speaking clearly, mumbling and like, stumbling on it. And that like interrupts me to the point where like, now I don't want to listen to you anymore. You've now shown me that like really it's kind of like, fuck, I'm smarter than you and now I won't listen.
It would be like flying in a plane and the pilot's like just jerking the fucking stick around.
Yeah, you're like,
I don't know what you're doing. Why am I just playing?
Exactly.
Those first couple. Though.
I think all four of us have at one point or another been instructors and stuff that has consequences, right?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Like either physical or some sort of big repercussions. So I just thought about that. Like it's kind of interesting that we can talk through this.
Yeah.
And why it's fucking important because we've all instructed and not been professional teachers at one point.
Yeah.
Well, it poisoned us though, because again, like that first 4 minutes of whatever instruction you're gonna get, you're judging. You're like, all right, let's see what we got. Like,
it's an interesting caveat though. So a previous place where I was, teaching in a selection, and we were brought on as subject matter experts. Like long range, pistol, rifle, whatever the fuck it was, or medical. We were required to write POI. What didn't exist, or it existed previously, or lesson plans, or whatever you want to call it.
What does POI stand for?
POI, plan of instruction, right?
Oh.
Plan.
I knew that was for the audience.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you. So you're required to write it. Their whole thought process was like, well, now that it's on paper, anybody can teach it. I'm like, yeah, hold on a second. That is not fucking true because yes, I might have put the course that we're talking about or the subject or the pros, cons, this is how, or the procedures, but it's experience driven. Like, you can't have a medic teach a non-medic fucking thing.
Exactly. This is one of those situations where it's like, all right, you have somebody say like Travis, like write a book on how to ride a motorcycle.
Dude, hand me that right there, Jariko. Right there. This is, here you go. No, the astronaut thing. There you go. Trevor, teach us how to put on a spacesuit.
Okay. It's here. So now I can teach
figure. Look at that. Yeah, look at that. You got a whole diagram. It's all listed out.
That's how that bullshit doesn't work.
Yeah, exactly. There are professional organizations within the government that think that that's how that shit goes. Like, nah, man, that ain't how that goes. It's just not.
No. There's professional organizations everywhere that are dealing with this all the time now, especially with the proliferation of I can work remote. Yeah. And I can take name course, fill in the blank. And now I am qualified to do X activity.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's bullshit.
I would say like one of the highlighted items that I remember right now of a class or a brief piece of instruction that I got within the last like 10 years after we became so judgy on instructors. This guy got up there, said, here's my name. And then he just stops and he looks around and he goes, here's why the fuck you should listen to me. He goes, I've done this. I then did this. I did this. I fucked that up. And then I did this and fixed it. And we're here now. Now that we have that out of the way and you saw what my end goal is, where I'm standing here before you, now you're going to fucking listen to me. And I went, I am going to listen to you.
Yes, I am.
That list was actually impressive. Now I want to know about 2, 3, and 4.
I've made all the mistakes.
Yeah, I think that instructors should, like, when I was going to courses or whatever, there's a couple things that I fucking despised with instructors. It's when they allude to a
experience
resume, but they don't
say it.
Just say it.
Give me a bio sheet right away.
Say it.
Yeah.
Like, don't allude to it and act like you're cool, but like, don't, because 9 times out of 10, you're omitting things for the sake of omitting it so people can use their imagination to make you cooler than you are. Other thing, and this is just a pet peeve, this is really just my thing. I fucking hate when instructors in a course ask a rhetorical question with a dumb answer. And that's how they start. Like, hey guys, do we point our guns at each other on the range?
You're looking around.
No, we don't, right?
Yeah.
I fucking hate that.
I had one of
They
these.
all do it. Like, every shitty instructor does that.
Yep. I had one of these and I made it basically a game of it. He would leave these open-ended whatevers. And it was, in a range environment. He was like, all right, so when you take your pistol out, you're gonna, and normally people are like, marry with your non-dominant hand, present on the rail, find your front
smart
side.
answer.
Something smart. And his shit would be way off, like, shoot and put it away. You're like, so now I'm just going to fill in the blank. When you take your gun out, you're going to not try to fuck up and fail. I don't know. Like, fucking pick something.
Make the power time.
Yeah.
Don't shoot.
Or I had one
Throw it.
that
throw it.
like what Jariko's saying, one that consistently would reference this vague involvement. They kept saying, "Oh, well, when we did this, and then when we achieved this, they were a part of Tesla, and when we did this, and then after it's all over, I'm like, oh, so you were on that team that designed it? They're like, no. We kept saying we. They're like, I meant as the company, because I'm part of the company. I'm like, what the fuck, man?
As a member of the human race.
Yeah. When we as humans did this, when we was Whitney
finished.
Houston.
Exactly.
when we got a #1 chart-topping 80s hit in 1989. Who's we?
It's me and the little mouse in my pocket. It's no big deal. So moving on, Jariko, you're going to walk around with Jonathan Blank on your back tomorrow.
Yeah.
That's
Me
gonna
and
be sick.
Mike Clancy and Trevor's going to help too.
Mhm.
Aren't you on our group?
I'm in there.
I'm all good.
But I'm built for that.
Yeah.
I'm like a mountain goat.
So is Mike Clancy.
That's true.
He's just a big giant human. He's built for everything, man. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Like,
He's handsome.
He's
but-
handsome. He's strong. He's tall. He can do whatever without trying. He doesn't have to work hard at anything. Fuck that.
I would love.
Mike.
I
Push
want
him
to
over real
spend a
easy.
significant amount of time and money to invent something that is just like trying to help but awful. So like for Jonathan to do this event, maybe make this contraption that is powered by 4 jackhammer legs, but they're jackhammers. So it's just he's like the most uncomfortable, noisy, ridiculous. He's just like, thanks. He's like, hey, check it out, John. I got your jackhammer chair. Like, I don't want it.
Jonathan would have been like, thank you. I slipped all my discs. All my discs are out.
He's trying to.
Yeah.
It's like a shake weight for your body. Gotta burn calories, but
Like that's the contest. How do you make an expensive gift that someone won't accept? That would be a fun bet to have with friends.
that would be. I mean, I can see one right now. It's like you have one of the clicky ballpoint pens that you click it open, and every time you hit the paper, it comes right back inside.
Yes.
Oh, see, I was thinking of like
This is aggravating.
bathrobe made out of cheese graters. You're like,
A little more aggressive.
I don't want that.
It was expensive.
It was, how many cheese graters I had to buy to make this? I had to bend them all
Into a
Put
suit.
a lot of work into this,
Yeah,
man.
can you please just put it on once and get into the Gravitron?
You're just so upset when they don't like it. Well, fine. That's the last time I make you a cheese grater vest.
Yeah, cheese grater bathrobe.
It's funny you're saying this because my parents, I love them. God bless them. But when I lived in New York City, you guys have been to New York before.
Mhm.
Like everyone's apartment in New York City is like the size of this table.
It sucks.
My parents liked to get me stuff. They like to buy me stuff. Like, hey, we got you this picture. We got you this thing. All these things. And I'm like, please fucking stop getting me
Check
stuff.
out this floor vase we got you,
no
Jariko.
shit. I got a fucking plant one time. I was like, I physically don't have space for that. Please stop.
No, I mean, I don't know if a lot of people know there are a majority of apartments in New York City that don't have a bathroom.
Oh,
There's
fuck
a
yeah.
shared bathroom
Yeah.
in the hallway.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Man, fucking apartment hunting in New York was so fun. There was one apartment that I looked at that, this is weird.
You got to put it in the hole.
One apartment I looked at had a bathroom of its own, but you had to leave the apartment, go out into the hallway of like the main building, and then go into another door.
What?
So to
makes
go to
sense.
the bathroom, you had to leave your apartment and go to a bathroom that
It's
was
like
out.
you had.
It wasn't
It's
shared.
like a parking spot
Yeah, basically.
for your ass.
Yeah, and the shower and bathtub were in the kitchen for that apartment.
Oh, I love
That's
that.
very like Fifth Element
$2,800
type
a
of-
month.
Holy shit. What
One
year?
bedroom. This was 20.
Why does anybody
16?
do this? Like,
I don't get it. Because
great. Yeah, but I've never loved something that much where I'm like, you know what? I will physically be uncomfortable every moment that I'm at home to live in this dirt fucking garbage city. Like,
it's a thing, dude.
It
People
is a
fucking
thing,
love
man.
it.
It's like some people have,
and they're so
a
happy
connection to the sea, to the ocean. Some people have a connection to the mountains. There are people that have a connection to that city.
to being able to say that they live in that city.
That's fun.
I can't believe like you are sacrificing any shred of comfort or sanity because obviously,
And
like
dignity.
your finances are going to be fucking garbage because you're.
Yes, dignity.
rolled
You have
around-
to leave your apartment. I need to take a shit. All right. You have to leave your fucking apartment?
Like I can't imagine. Like put yourself in the seat. Like I'm heading home for the day, but I don't have a bathroom.
Man, I really got to take a shit. Hold
Bitch,
on.
You know, I really wish I had a nice
And then
chair
how
to
many
sit in.
fights are going on?
I can't fit another one in my apartment.
Yeah, that's enough. Actually, I don't think you were in the car. We were rolling around after the stock exchange thing. Clint was in the car and the driver knew all the things about the city, which I think is fascinating. Like somebody who really knows where they're at. And he pointed at this thing that looked like a bunch of Lego blocks, like fucked up architecture. I wasn't super into it. But the top floor, he's like, yeah, such and so DJ owns that. And it's like a $140 million fucking apartment or flat.
I know what you're talking
whatever.
about.
Of course, the DJ does.
That's in Soho.
Yeah.
It's like 2.5 blocks from World One.
Yeah.
Something like that.
Yeah.
There
I
isn't.
had a buddy that used to live in that building.
So to
Oh,
be
shit.
fair, I fucking loved living in New York City. I had a blast.
Ew.
She knew
But
there
I
was
had a
a life.
bathroom. What's that?
She had a bathroom.
I did not end up renting this apartment that I looked at that didn't have
That's
that. I got one with a bathroom.
That's the dignity line.
There's like if we went
Yeah.
down the scale of people I give respect to, parking meter maid would be here, and then DJ would be here. Like there isn't, and then pedophile. So on my scale of respect,
But tell me that
DJ is hanging way out.
makes all the sense. Tell me that the shitter was like in the living room so that you could take a shit and watch TV at the same time.
There are apartments like that
I'm into
for
it.
sure, but like that, no, this one was not like that.
I mean, I remember we took a trip with Jump Team and we were put up in a hotel. And I remember opening, it was like the first time I'd been in a hotel on Manhattan. And I opened up the door and I did one of these. I'm like, where's the rest of the fucking room? Like, wait a second. Because it was like the size of this space.
Yeah.
Like, nah, this can't be right.
Yeah,
Not
sure.
for the price we're paying. Like,
Yeah.
oh, yeah.
Sounds like Tybee
Yeah.
Island.
Yeah.
It's absurd.
I had a friend of a friend who lived in an apartment that was like basically a house that had been like
converted.
boarded up and
Chopped.
converted, and people shared a fucking bathroom. And these people are paying like $2,000 a month.
100%. Yeah, I was looking at one the other day, you know, because it's on fucking Reels or whatever. Like, this apartment costs $2,100 a month. And like, the dude had to fold up his bed, and then that gave him a desk. But
It's a
then,
Murphy bed.
yeah,
Murphy bed.
and that was
Yeah, I
it.
love it.
Like, he had a microwave and a mini fridge, and that was the apartment.
I'll never forget.
You might as well live in a van.
The first
Why not?
apartment I had in
It's
New
cheaper.
York was in East Williamsburg in Brooklyn. And it was in hindsight, it was definitely illegal. It was not a legally zoned apartment, but it was in an old brewery from like the super old building, really
super
cool.
subleasing.
Yeah, for sure. And my dad my dad was like, I've never been to New York, or he'd been, but not for years. And he came and visited me. And my dad was like, I think this is one of those places that's run by slumlords.
Yeah, probably.
I was
Dad.
like, yeah, probably.
I'm gonna look.
No big
I'm
deal.
gonna look up apartments right now in New York. See what we
Well,
can see.
you
What
know
kind of
what?
goodness we could find right now.
Honestly, conversely, I went to hang out with a friend, right? And I'm hanging out in the apartment, walk outside, and I couldn't figure out what was going on in the corner, right? There's a van, it's across the street, it's a 4-way intersection, there's people taking pictures.
What part of New York is this?
I want
is
to
it-
say
is
it
it
was
Manhattan or-
Soho-y.
It's Manhattan,
like
though.
north up, yeah.
Yeah, okay.
And I'm looking because I want to see the dead body or whatever's going on. I can't figure it out. Then later on, after some Googling and texting friends, it's the friend's house or the set or wherever that thing is. Where's that thing? Where it was all filmed, where the coffee shop was.
Oh, that's the West Village.
Okay, so it was that. Then I started thinking about all the other shitty places in these small apartments. And I want to know what the fuck, because it was a very decent apartment. You know, it was like bedroom, had an actual living room. I think it was actually a bath and then like a lavatory, you know, like a separate little doohickey. What does that thing cost?
There's people that have done that math. Like you're talking like the Friends thing.
Yeah.
What their apartment would be? No, it's like millions.
No. I want to know what the one I stepped out of.
Oh, so you were in... Okay, so were you in the same neighborhood as
Across the street.
across the street from
The building.
the building that's in the intro of the show?
Mhm.
Okay, yeah, that's the West Village. How big was the place?
I'll say
How many rooms?
850.
So it's like a 1 bedroom, not a studio.
No.
Oh, Jesus.
Probably $4,200 a month.
Fuck, right?
Yeah, 38 to 42, somewhere in there. West Village is nice, man.
Oh, it was beautiful.
Yeah, I lived in a
the whole
studio in the
neighborhood.
West Village for a while.
Shit.
Whoa.
It was nice.
Yeah. Well, now we know. Jared, what do you got?
But there are ways,
you know.
so there are also like in New York, you will, like the last apartment that I rented in New York, when I went to look at it, I thought it was a scam because it was actually like a decent price and a pretty nice big apartment.
You're like, this must be wrong.
This must be wrong. But it was just like the landlord was just this old guy who wanted to be very picky about who he chose.
And he probably owned the property or didn't need to make extra.
Right. So sometimes you'll find those fucking gems where it's like they just want to get
nice.
Or the
kitchen
apartments
there.
that get passed down to families.
Yeah.
Just really.
How do you live there?
$2,000 a month. Oh God, look at that bathroom. Like you literally.
Exactly.
At least you have a bathroom though. The kitchen and this.
Nice. That looks good.
This is interesting.
You know, same thing with the hotels though. I stayed at a hotel there back in probably like 19, and it's normal hotel price, but there's nothing. There's literally just the bed and just the bathroom, and you can barely. It's like the European rooms.
Yeah.
You can walk on 2 sides of the bed, and that's
that was
it.
this hotel. It was the New Yorker.
Where did I stay?
So yes, but recently, so me and Evan and Clint Trial just went up to West Point to kind of show the awesome video we did about Clint Trial and all that.
To
on
tour
Fox.
a marine around.
Yeah. So then afterward, we had like a day to kill, and I was like, Clint, let's not stay up here. Like the town outside of West Point's this tiny little place. There's a podunk. There's not much to do. I was like, let's hop on the train. We'll spend the night in the city before we, leave.
Yeah.
He's like, fuck yeah. He hadn't been to New York much. And he's like, kind of like, I don't know about New York. I'd rather, And I'm like, no, trust me. It'll be cool. So I took him to Brooklyn and then I got a room that was, I'd never stayed there before. I'd be like, and I told Clint, I was like, hey man, chances are this hotel's going to be a piece of shit because most of them are, but it was fucking awesome.
Really?
The room was fucking huge. Like, I was like, where's this been all my life? So you guys go back to New York. I know the place to stay. That's the whole story. I'm sorry.
It's a good story.
You don't need to be sorry.
Thanks for
I don't ever want to go back. I don't ever want to step foot in that city again.
I like it. I
Not
like
once.
it for short stints. I'm into it.
I went to B&H and I got the fuck out, and that's the last time I've ever been, and I never will go again.
It is, I think maybe I've talked about this on podcasts before, but like the last time I lived in New York because after I left Ranger Regiment, I taught college ROTC. It's was like my sunset tour, twilight tour, whatever you want to call it. And I largely see that period of time as my transition more so than when I actually retired out of the Army because I had like kind of a civilian job.
Set schedule.
Yeah, set schedule. It was me and like 3 other green suiters. We worked with all civilians. We were basically faculty at a college. So it was like being a civilian.
living in a real place.
Living in a real place.
Not outside of a
outside of a
not outside of like Fort Irwin.
Not outside of someplace the government got 1 million acres for a real good deal.
Yeah.
At a 100-year lease.
So like that time period where I was doing this like kind of transition and remembering like kind of my struggles through it, I can now look back after all the work I've done and be like, that is the worst possible place on fucking earth to go through that.
Yeah.
Because you're like constantly just like,
Yeah, right.
so much fucking stuff to just
Movement.
agitate you.
Stimulation.
It's like Blade Runner.
Yeah. There's constant. It doesn't
Everything's
matter.
lit up.
Everything's
24
lit up.
hours a day.
Horns.
Yes, horn.
Yelling.
Yelling.
Dumpster, like just trash cans banging against a fucking trash
There's
truck.
always a siren.
Then after I left and I don't know, it was a few years before I went back. I went back after I did the HKIA thing and I went back and was like walking around now that I have like kind of a healthier brain.
Yeah.
And I was just like, would stop and be like, Jesus, fuck, this place is intense, man.
It's all perspective. Maybe you got inoculated right out of the gate.
Yeah.
Now everything else is toned down a little bit.
Yeah. But it is interesting. It's never like, so a fun thing back to being an instructor, right? So I had to teach, cadets that were going to be lieutenants in the Army how to do certain things. Well, I had grown up teaching a certain group of people, people who'd been through base training, yada, yada. Then you get to New York and you'd have to teach people land navigation and they've never even been in the fucking woods, right? They grew up in New York.
They're like trees, like in Central Park. Like
Yeah. Exactly. Also, they've never been in the dark.
Oh,
It's because it's never dark there.
I didn't think about that.
Yeah.
wow.
I didn't even consider that until
Yeah.
you said it. Now I get it.
They have never.
Place doesn't get dark.
It doesn't get dark.
Yeah.
There's
It's Vegas.
there's always something to give you light.
Yeah.
So you take them. So we used to go down to Fort Dixon, New Jersey, or we would go up to West Point to their training areas up there. You go up there and you would find out like, oh, you're 20 years old and you're scared of the fucking dark because you've never been in it. So it was like a whole new way. Like I had to really like take a step back and be like, all right, how do I put this task into a language that this person understands, this person who's never been in the dark and who has never been alone. Like,
So you had to
Yeah,
become a good instructor.
yeah.
Like we were talking about
I mean,
the
I
other,
wasn't. They all fit, whatever.
like we were talking about the other day. Like, I was, you're a really great instructor. No, you were instructing Rangers or PJs or, SEALs. Like,
Yeah,
no,
we're ready to
those
be
people were
instructed.
selected.
They're to do
And
stuff.
like you said, what did you say? Like, oh no, what instructor would you pick?
yeah, I would pick like, as far as like leadership and instruction, I would pick the guy who ran a logistics platoon in 3rd ID that had a bunch of tongue chewers. Still had to complete a mission. Like that guy understands how to manage and lead people,
Yeah.
right?
Like you got all those dudes to drive forklifts around and not hit shit.
Yeah. We were talking about that. Like, hey, you
Like,
have
that's like a
people
magic
operating
trick.
heavy machinery all day and they have to not kill each other. And most of them are idiots.
How'd you do that?
You know,
Teach me.
nothing against
Teach me,
3rd ID.
dude.
It's just what came to mind.
Someone's writing in right now.
I think you might have said 10th Mountain last time. Like, anyway,
Mountain,
the tongue chewing
The motor pool.
battalion.
Yeah.
I'm just throwing out extra ones, so
in the motor
nobody's
pool.
ID'd.
It's an ASVAB joke is all that was.
Yeah, it is.
That
It's
was
like,
that was just
hey,
an
Let's
ASVAB
just
joke.
face it. The people that are like knocking the ball out of the park are not picking, going to.
Yeah, but
drive
nothing's more yucky than seeing an ICU get dropped on someone.
Have you seen it?
No, I've heard about it.
Damn it.
Hey,
Damn
who
I've
was
heard about quite a few.
Who was that? There was a PJ who got run over by a forklift.
Like
Josh Webster. Do you know him?
Did it kill him?
Prior
No,
Ranger?
those
ran
bitches
over
are heavy.
It ran over his leg and like nothing happened to him.
Really?
Yeah.
What?
Why do I know that name,
I mean,
Josh
we could
Webster?
try it. We have
Wasn't
a
he
forklift
prior Ranger?
downstairs.
He was
I'm
a
good.
275 guy.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
It's just PJ.
Yeah.
He did the same whole like, I'm going to quit because being a Ranger's too hard. I'm going to go be a PJ pipeline like you.
Gay. Gay.
Like
He was hard. No, it wasn't. I didn't really think about this till just now, but New Yorkers, no light. How many of them didn't have driver's license? That's a thing.
Oh, yeah. Most of them. yeah.
How does that work when you're 20 to get a driver's
Well,
license?
because you
have
can't
to go-
park.
Oh, yeah, I learned that too. I was going to go to Columbia, and my folks were like, well, we'll come and see you, and the kiddos and whatever.
Columbia University.
And they brought a car up. I just thought it was normal parking. No, they put it in the fucking elevator of death, and it's back there for a week, and it costs you like $700.
When I if you have a car and you
Serious.
don't want to do street parking all the time, that's $700 is about right.
Yeah, it's an
like
investment.
an additional expense that you have to budget for.
Holy shit.
Didn't think
and-
about it.
The whole time I lived there, I had a truck or an SUV or something. Everybody was my best fucking friend because
So-
hey, I have to get a couch. Hey, I have to do this. Hey, I have to do that.
You're like the guy in high school that has his own vehicle first.
Yeah.
Hey, man. Yeah, we all going together.
But it's people who are like work in finance and make, $250,000 a year. And they're like, hey man, can I like borrow your car? And you're like, what? You can rent it.
Yeah. Well, I also learned that a lot of people take the train out of the city to the areas where you can park either for cheap or for free, and they leave their vehicle there.
This is unlocking some fun memories. Yeah. So
Life hack.
Yeah.
I had my schedule. I had to be in for PT Monday through Thursday, like early, right?
Yucky.
In which case, public transportation, the subway is not super. It's reliable, but it's got a left and right buffer of like about 25 or 30 minutes.
That's
right?
a lot.
That's
So like, yeah, if you don't want to budget for 30 minutes when you're waking up at 5 in the morning.
Fuck off. No
right?
way.
So I had to drive, right? So I would drive in, but then because of the hours I worked, it was always easy for me to find street parking, right? Because I would leave at a weird time, get home at a weird time.
You're there after the bar staff, but before everybody else that shows up early.
Right. Yeah. So, but on the weekend, my street was like 2-hour parking X time to Y time, right? So I would have to move my car around. And if you park on a fucking Friday and you have to move, like you're fucked. You're not going to find another spot because everybody's jockeying for these spots. So I found this place where you could park under this bridge in Brooklyn, get on the train and that train or the subway, and it went like back straight to my apartment. So then every Friday I would park under the bridge, take the train home, and then Monday morning, I had to bite the bullet and eat that like 20, 30-minute buffer, take the train to my truck, and then drive to work so that I could drive my car.
See?
What
Fucking why?
Jared's face was like...
I'm on your side with this one. This is
same.
ridiculous.
Nothing,
This is
nothing is worth this.
I'll tell you.
I did not go to Colombia.
I'll tell you why. Like, if you want Albanian food at 3 o'clock in the morning on a Wednesday...
I've been living 38
7
years just
places
fine without it.
I've never had that thought.
No.
Okay.
There's always something happening, right? If it's Tuesday at 4 in the morning and you're like, I want to go see an art exhibit, you can fucking go see an art exhibit. Like, there's always something to do.
How do you find
So it's like
that?
it's like live YouTube.
Exactly. Yeah, it's like
New York City is life YouTube.
It's its own
In-person YouTube.
form of entertainment. Like, just being there is a form of entertainment.
No, I'm super into that. And I actually love being in New York. I couldn't live there. I came to the conclusion that like this is not necessarily the place for me in other circumstances. But I want to know how a 18-year super accomplished ranger after a bunch of combat time and everything else, how did you decide to hunt out a parking spot and you found it underneath that particular bridge? I want to picture you like just patrolling through the night, like, where can I put my truck?
I did. Yeah, there was a lot of trial and error. Yeah, a lot of trial and error. A lot of, well, I think I happened upon that place because of where I went to the gym.
Huh.
Right, my gym was kind of in proximity to that, so I'd stop at the gym. I'm like, I'm just gonna leave my fucking shit here. And then someone was like, hey, there's a spot over there where they don't really
Check.
Yeah,
Just
Did,
dirt.
no, it was paved.
So Dirty Mike.
I mean,
and the
I think
boys?
there's
Everything was paved.
there's a content piece here on can you guys get me to stay there for 3 consecutive days?
Yes.
$10.
Where's Jared?
Will I quit? like you? I have to stay 72 hours inside New York City. Will I make it?
With $10.
No. It could be unlimited money. Will I survive?
I went a totally different
The
direction.
Manhattan Hell Weekend.
Yeah. Where's Kevo? He's turning tricks because we had to keep Jared in the city.
No, let's go on Fleet Week.
Oh, God.
So Dirty Mike and the boys didn't get in your car in that spot?
No. Fleet Week, that was always fun. Did you ever go for Fleet Week?
No, but I went to the Bay Area for it.
Okay.
Because we did the air show.
So during Fleet Week, you would see New York was just, there were sailors everywhere.
Yeah, whites.
In their whites.
Whites.
And
Yeah.
I would
You're welcome.
purposefully
Like,
go, if I saw groups of sailors like kind of looking around in subway stations, I go up and be like, hey man, which way, where are you trying to go? And they're like,
Wrong way.
oh, I'm going in here. And I'd be like, okay. And I would put them on totally the wrong train.
You son of a bitch.
I did that so many times.
yeah, they had
so
no
fucking proud of
clue that
myself.
you were just a
Yeah, man,
ranger
hop on the,
sabotage over there.
Hop on the
Sabotage!
L train and then go out and like it's going to seem like you're going across the river, but it's not really. So it's just a tunnel that
End
goes
up
under
in
this one
Queens.
thing. Yeah. Oh yeah. I sent guys out
Dude.
all over.
I remember someone I knew like used to tell me like they had, a slew of heavy friends and they would like prepare for Fleet Week.
Interesting.
Heavy women friends, they were like, they would be like, I was like, what's going on with that? Oh, they're prepping for Fleet Week. I'm like, what's that? That's why I know what it is.
Interesting.
Thousands of sailors come in and this is kind of like their Christmas.
That reminds me of
Like we would go out, like we went and did the air show up there when I was on the jump team in San Francisco and for Fleet Week. And we would go out in normal people clothes because
of course.
it's like watching a circus.
Oh, yeah.
Like I know exactly what you're seeing. I'm like, oh my God. They're dressed up in their whites.
Yes,
Yeah.
everywhere.
It's
Everywhere.
absurd.
Yeah.
Well, they flood to the Empire State Building first. So like, yes, it's all just like a full carrier battle group. Just
Which is, for everybody's edification, many thousands of sailors.
Yes.
That's a lot of
20
sailors.
ship.
Yeah.
It's a lot.
It's
That's a lot of sailors.
10
It's a lot of
20,000
seamen out there.
Oh God, my mouth was so sore during the Fleet Week.
You just reminded me of the fuckometric shit ton game. Talking about the larger stature women coming into town with Weapon Squad.
Oh,
Remember
trying to get
this?
a metric, a ton?
Yeah.
2,000 pounds. Or,
Like
or
the whole system.
the 300 club.
There's like a leaderboard and
You get a belt.
scale. Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Those are good times. I wasn't involved with them.
Oh, not at all. Not at all. None of us. No one was.
How do they take their coffee?
Blick.
I was going to say like,
Oh, Lord.
cream and sugar.
Extra
Lots.
cream. Extra cream.
The word deep just came to mind.
I don't know.
How do you take your coffee?
Moist.
Deep. Stop saying that. That's not a thing.
So,
Deep.
Trevor, you've talked about the jump team a couple times. What is like kind of the raddest experience you had? Not jumping, but like when you went somewhere to do a demo with the jump team and the people that you were there to demo for were just like, here you go. And you just had the raddest time because of like the red carpet they roll out for you.
So 2 of them.
Oh, wow.
No, because they were like separately super interesting to me, and I thought was just incredible, like red carpet type of experience, and the people were freaking awesome. One was the Chicago Cubs.
Nice. Fuck.
Holy crap, those people are incredibly nice. And then when we finished jumping in and the game was over, Chicago PD grabbed us. There was only like 6 of us on the team at the time. They're like, all right, get in the cruiser. We're going bar hopping.
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Awesome.
No, they just like, took us all around town. It was fucking awesome.
Yeah, man. Chicago's.
It was completely absurd. And the second one was, I didn't take any terminal leave before I left because the day before my last day in the Navy, I had the opportunity to jump into a USC game.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm from Los Angeles,
Mhm.
and I'd already jumped into a UCLA game, and I'd already jumped into a USC game at the Coliseum. I'm like, well, I want to jump into the Rose Bowl.
Yeah.
So I got to jump into the Rose Bowl, and like I flew a 1,500 square foot flag at night with a buddy. We did a downplane where the flags connected between us.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was fucking absurd.
That's
Like
awesome.
being able to do that, and like they put out the red carpet for us too. They were super nice, really grateful, like incredibly nice staff.
Yeah.
And you get a range. Like I've seen some really, really, really bad environments
Yeah.
and been treated like total crap. And then had the other
name.
side of that, like
Let's have it.
no,
Let's have a name drop.
I'll just say the good ones, which is like the Cubs. The Cubs are great. Cubs are great, and the Red Sox are fantastic. Like super nice staff.
So you can't say worst ever?
No, I'm not going to.
We're not going back.
Yeah.
I still think it's fucked up.
He's so polite.
Fair enough.
And that was years ago. They might have changed staff. I don't.
He's still
All right,
recovering.
fine. Nicest
Yeah.
dude ever, whatever.
PTSD
Yeah,
over
so-
here.
I don't know, for people that have watched, we got that AFF video coming out in like August, I think. Yeah.
The one where I quit.
The one,
It's
yeah.
a DOR.
So
Yeah.
we're trying to eventually, maybe a couple, 2 or 3 years, be doing demos someday. And not that I can't wait, because I don't know if it'll ever happen, but I fucking cannot wait to jump into a Dodger game. I don't even know if the Dodgers would let our demo team jump into a thing, but
If that's your goal, it's weird because
we don't have to have them say it's okay. We can all just jump.
I keep having
do almost anything
there.
once.
I have had this reoccurring dream that you were jumping into a Dodger game, but you clip a fence and it shears your dick off and it goes straight into your mouth and you swallow it. Like,
Wait a
it's weird.
second. That's the same
dream.
Yeah.
That's the same dream that you had about me at O'Neill.
Yeah.
Why does it always end with a dick in a mouth? All of
I don't know. I don't know.
What would be, if you had dream scenario of a demo to do, like what would yours be? To jump
So
into something?
I'm not a big sports fan. And not that I don't love
yeah.
sports, but I don't have like a team. Whatever. I grew up in Cleveland. So I mean, we had the Indians, we had the Browns, which
They're the Guardians now.
Yeah, I know. I've heard. I would actually, I think it'd be awesome only because of the vista and it's gorgeous. The Air Force Academy. Not because I'm in the Air Force, but because it's fucking spectacular.
That's a cool place.
that is a
That's
really
cool place
nice
to jump.
backdrop.
You jumped
too.
it,
Yeah,
right? And probably more than
I did
once.
a demo there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I think
I had
it's
a cutaway
fucking...
into that stadium.
And
What?
Oh, shit.
Yeah. I landed
You had a cutaway during a demo?
during a live demo right before the game started into their football stadium.
Did you still nail your landing?
I landed right on the middle.
Hell yeah. What was the
That's
malfunction?
so cool.
So we were doing crew. I was flying the flag. So it was in a bag on the front of me.
Mhm.
And I pinned, I hit my canopy up against the backside of Jim Woods, who was the team trainer.
Awesome, dude.
And I wrapped him up, which was hilarious because I'd been on the team for years at that point. So we were talking to each other about it and we thought it was funny because I have a reserve and okay, fine, whatever. And he asked me if I was okay. Yeah, it's okay. And I chopped right above the stadium and he was covered up in a canopy and he dropped the canopy into the right outside the stadium, I think. And then I landed in the stadium.
That's so cool.
That's fucking
Could the
rad.
people tell? Were they like, oh my God?
No, but the pictures are great because I'm landing a big orange reserve during a live demo.
I think there's two things you need to think about your choice here.
Yep.
Air Force Stadium,
Mhm.
that's a lot of Air Force female cadets. And when they announce, now pararescue man, Mr. Kevin, and you're just like, boo. And then it's like, hello.
Yes,
They would just be,
that would be great. However, let me tell you the real story. So I don't think I've said this one on the podcast. 2 officer dudes from my unit, one's an alum, called me up and they're like, hey, we need a, well, they didn't say that. They said, how close do you live to the academy? And I was like, it's like 10 minutes down the road when I lived in the Springs up till about 2 years ago. They go, awesome. Do you want to jump the academy? I was like, the stadium? Like fully not qualified to do that. They're like, no, we're just going to jump with the team one of the mornings.
Yeah, down the field.
Yeah, down the field. So I go, I go to the Drury Inn, which is right there, drive down in the morning. We get in the car, and then I quickly realize that I'm the only jump master because officers are not jump masters. So I'm like, you fucks, you just called me for the checklist. So I'm running through the checklist.
Perfect.
Yeah, we go in, and we're just in multicam shits, and we're sitting in the class with all the cadets because you got the morning group and the night group. They're like wings of blue, wings of green, whatever the fuck they are.
Yeah.
And we're sitting there.
Little tiny fairy wings.
Yeah, but it's a very, I had a little Fort Benning flashback when I got like, okay, today, and they're going through their brief.
They also have the nicest facility for jumpers I've ever seen.
Oh my God, it's beautiful. It actually looks
Literally
like, it looks like you just came off of a ring with like the hockey league. Like,
you guys have 3 twin otters?
oh, it's ridiculous. Oh, we're not even talking about the birds
What
yet.
are you doing?
Yeah, we're not even talking about the birds yet. So we cruise in, we finish up the brief and it's really official. And this kid comes up to me and he doesn't know how to address me because he's not really an officer yet. And he goes, what stick do you want to be in? And I go, we'll be in the first stick. What time? Boom, got it. Cool, show me the map. And he shows me the map and he's like, and I said, where do you want us to land? Like, what's standard? Where are you landing? He goes, well, this is the Peak Gravel Pit and it's gigantic. It's like a fucking football field in and of itself. And then, well, here's the 50-yard mock-up, but you probably can't hit that. So you just land over here. And I was like, hey, fuck off. And he doesn't know what to do because he's like, well, you're enlisted and I'm an officer. So we get in that bird, which is the nicest fucking bird on the planet.
Super nice.
Super like cushion. They even had the carpety floor thing, the O2.
Really nice.
Yeah, everything worked. It was amazing. It was quieter. It actually had the facades. There's some sort of insulation in this thing. So they pop the door open. They're on first stick. We're second stick. If I remember that right, doesn't even matter. They go out, we go out, and we're doing our thing, little touchy hangout, and then cruise out, throw out. I also forgot I was at altitude. So when I tossed, I was like, that's a little slow. Oh yeah, that's right. I'm at altitude. So open slower. Chute opens up.
I think you're landing like 9,000 feet. 8,000 feet?
Yeah, something like that.
It's high.
Yeah.
It's super high.
Well, I think you're exiting, doesn't matter. I think it's about 6,000, 65,
Still,
but it's
still
fucking
up there.
high. And I'm not thinking about it. I'm just looking at the view, hanging out, having a good old time. So I pull a little bit low and I fly in and I'm like, I'm going to fucking land right on this fucking thing. So I land on it and I can hear him coming in and that little kid, I say kid, cadet, whatever he is. He's probably Cadidiot.
Yeah, there you go.
that. I was just nothing but birds as he overflew by about 25 yards. Boom. That was a win for me that day.
Also, you're right. 6,800 feet.
68.
Boom.
Something like
I
that.
mean,
You're zipping when you land there.
Yeah. I was
Yeah, a
wondering
little bit more.
when we landed during that demo because it's hot and humid out.
Yeah.
I think our density altitude was like 9,900 or something.
Oof. Yeah.
9,800. It was super, like I was hauling ass.
I bet. Yeah. That was a super cool place to live, actually. And the turnaround for when they would do the games and bring the jets in and 4th of July was directly over my house. So it was super cool, man.
What would
Yeah,
what would
it's fantastic.
what would your demonstration jump dream be if you're demonstration jumping?
like, what do I think the coolest jump would be?
Yeah.
Jump onto a carrier.
Oh, shit.
Yeah. We've done
Oh
that.
man.
Yeah.
Dang it. Can I change mine?
But like,
I mean, I know what mine is.
Yeah. With
well, yeah. I didn't ask you because I figured you'd already done it.
Nope. I would love to jump into the start of the F1 race at Monaco.
Oh.
I might be able to arrange
I
that.
think that's a super cool, no, for real. I think that's a really cool event.
Yeah.
A billion people with a B watch fucking Formula One.
Yeah.
So you're under pressure because everybody's watching.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's a tight venue and it's one of the F1 races that's been getting run for fucking ever.
Yeah, that is super cool.
It's a really
do
cool, like
people-
the whole thing is really
Yeah.
cool.
Do people do that? Are there demos there? Like,
I don't know about Monaco. We jumped into the Circuit of Americas when I was on the team.
Yeah.
So that does get done. It does get done. Like,
Yeah.
so
Did you ever do
it's
any-
a doable thing?
did you ever do any demos overseas or all in the States?
No, everything in everything in the States.
Okay.
Okay, so
I was trying to think if I got paid to do anything else overseas, but no.
this is like a measure of ability, but you said it's a tight drop zone.
Yeah.
Monaco would be.
Yeah.
But now I'm understanding after jumping with you and Jim Woods, like your ability and accuracy. What do you consider a small?
Like, what's a really small DZ?
Yeah.
Like just a DZ.
Just
like a
for
tennis
you.
court.
Okay.
And I mean, like a tennis court with trees around it. Like, that's a small DZ.
That's small for you.
That would be
So you'd have to like keep your shit together. You're like,
And I've landed in like minor league baseball stadiums. Those are a little tight, a little
yeah,
scary.
yeah. Well, what most people don't think about is the approach. Like you said, like
Yeah.
trees and shit.
Yeah.
Well, and like one that I remember specifically was jumping into the stadium in Tennessee.
Mhm.
And if you've never seen it, it's very, very tall.
Yeah.
And it holds like 100,000 people.
Damn.
And I flew our 1,500 square foot flag into it.
Oh,
That
shit.
was fucking terrifying
Yeah.
because I was making turns inside the stadium,
Ooh.
like below the
Wow.
lip. So
Jesus.
it's scary shit.
Well, I think with this team though, as we develop it, I think we need to develop our own color guard, and then I'll do the national anthem. So
like
then
this.
this is a package deal now.
It's a package
If
deal.
someone calls up, they get the entire opening ceremony done by us.
Everything.
And this is an opportunity for us to design our own color guard, and that can get really funny. I mean,
Really exciting.
tiger stripe pants.
Tiger Stripe. No. Tiger Stripe jumpsuits.
Jariko just wants to wear a Tigerstripe romper.
with berets.
Yes.
Like
Oversized berets.
some sort of
The big
beret.
ones. The big daddies. Like,
Two
Like a-
people
like a
with
bass
M1
beret?
brands.
Like a pizza man.
Well, I don't know. What would our
Like a bass.
What would the ultimate? I think you go like full blown Vietnam LERP color guard. Like it
Yeah.
is
There you go.
tiger
That'd be
stripe
sick.
with H with the freaking old
Yeah.
school.
With
Yeah,
the H
like,
harness.
Yeah,
In
and they've
inclement
got
weather, you wear a trench coat just like De Niro wore in The Deer Hunter.
Yeah.
yeah,
Movie.
yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And you're
You're
in
in
a
Panama
full
jungle boots.
tiger stripe suit.
no, a tiger stripe romper.
Tiger Stripe flight suit.
Big brass zipper.
Yeah. Oh, see.
Yeah.
Man, I can't
Well,
believe
this has been lovely.
flying around inside. I'm sorry, I'm still wrapping my head
Yeah.
around flying, like making a turn and being eye level with the top of a stadium.
Yeah, I mean, there's been a couple times when I've been in stadiums and like jumping into Kansas City. I jumped into Arrowhead for the Chiefs there, and that was wild too. Because like as you're flying past the upper deck of where they have their suites, you can look over and see people looking at you.
Hey.
Ah,
Hey, I'm
yeah,
flying.
it's very disconcerting.
And for, people who, I'm such a huge chariot jumping, but like one of the things I said the other day is I love having hobbies that make me look at the world differently, even when I'm not doing them.
Yeah.
So like we just did the canopy course in San Diego, and like now that I know a little bit more about how a canopy works and how after you do a turn, it doesn't gain its like true flight again for depending on the parachute and the winds and all that. Like, so you could turn one day in that spot and be fine. And then you turn the next day in that spot and you don't gain full flight again for like a different amount of time, and you break your fucking legs.
Mhm.
Yep.
So it's like when I see stuff like that, I'm like, God, that's so fucking impressive.
Yeah, super cool. All right. Uh-oh.
No, I'll tell you after.
Oh, I already know,
Yeah.
actually. All right, dudes. Thanks. Appreciate you coming on. Good little chat.
This is awesome.
Enjoyed the bullshit.
Yeah.
All right. Appreciate it.
See you guys in New York.
Bye.